Focus is just why am I so bad? Yo. So I've been using digital cameras for 6 years now, maybe 7 years, and fortunately for the past 4 years I've been able to call it my job, making videos and taking photos. So long story short, I've now got a film camera. This is the Canon EOS 300 with the nifty 50 on it, 50mm 1.8. I got my negatives developed this morning and I've been emailed the digital version of them. Then I'm going to reply back with my favourites and I'll get them printed, and I'm possibly going to get some framed as well at some point. The reason I'm doing this is I can go from only seeing digital copies of things, you know, these high resolution quality photos that you see in 2019, I can go back in time and try and shoot more authentic photography, and we'll see how it goes. That's sort of the mindset I'm coming from here. I don't want to bore you too much. Let's jump into these photos. These photos are from 2 rolls shot on Fujifilm and a Kodak Ultra Color, I think it's called, Ultra Max or something. So there's 2 rolls of 36. I've already seen them very briefly when I downloaded them earlier. I put them into a folder and I've not looked at them since. So this is like pretty much the first time that I'm looking at the photos, and I'm going to basically criticize myself because I'm pretty sure these are not going to be that great. So let's go. First shot, I'm in my car, I just got the roll and I needed to take a photo or something, so I clearly just took a photo of this. So this is a very pointless photo. I really like this actually. So the green and yellow light I'm not a fan of, but that's just a film I guess, and I guess if I was shooting digital I'd probably change the colour so it's not greeny yellow, so it's a bit more orange maybe. I love the depth of field on the right hand side with the shoes. He is a little bit out of focus, but you know, you win some, you lose some. I think the overall look of this shot looks quite good. So another one, trying on hat, pretty much the same sort of style. I like the grain, I like the colours, the skin tones look nice. I think I'm too good. So this is minging. I'm really yellow. I don't know why I took a selfie. It was a waste of a shot, I think. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not a fan. Moving on. So I like this shot. We just left the skate shop and headed over to the beach, obviously. When I shot this, I immediately thought I overexposed it so much because I was shooting at a low aperture, 1.8, so you're letting loads of light in, and then the camera went, I think I was on aperture priority, so it went straight to 2000 shutter speed. And the camera's doing all it can to be as dark as possible, if that makes sense, and I'm shooting at 400 ISO, the film rolls at 400, so I thought straight away I've overexposed this, but like I cannot believe how well it came out. I'm also annoyed how I framed it because he's sort of in the left third, and like maybe I should have put him more to the left or just put him in the middle. I don't really like the way I framed it. It's not overexposed, which I'm stoked. I love this shot, framed perfectly if I do say so myself. It is maybe a little bit too bright, I would lower the exposure, but the focus is good, his leg tattoos are good, the forward bag looks good. Just an awful photo. That's nothing personal against you, Webb, if you're watching this, but it's out of focus, it's framed disgusting. He needed, like, what is that space at the top? Yeah, that's just a shit photo. Okay, I made up for it, I think. I like this. I love the grain on this film. It's, I don't know, it just looks good. It's not overexposed, which again, I thought it would be so overexposed, but the film roll's handling it so well. It's shot at 1.8 with 2000 shutter, so Webb's setting up a new skateboard. I love this frame. I think the highlights are a little bit blown out, but the film's tried to soften the look a little bit, which it's done quite a good job of. This is like set up, but authentic at the same time. Like he's genuinely setting up a new board. I'm not trying to big up Webb too much, but his tattoos look good. Black clothes, black and white Vans. I just like it. Sat in the back of the van, setting up a skateboard. I'm a fan. This one's me posing dramatically. I never hold a skateboard like that. You can tell that I'm posing, and it's a bit pointless really. Webb took this one again, and I like the fact that it's out of focus. I think the focus in the distance and me in the foreground out of focus looks quite good. The skin tone's a bit red, I think that's just the film. I like the shot of Webb skating here. This was Webb's first time out properly skating and cruising. You can tell by the smile on his face, he's just stoked to be here. And then this is when we got back to Webb's house. This is Soph. We were just killing a little bit of time. I could see there was like, it was almost golden hour and the sun was just setting. You can see on her hair, on the right hand side, it's like glowing a little bit, and that looks quite cool. I just love this wall that we found here. We were going to Nando's and there was this great big wall near. It was just really aesthetic, just one big grey wall and grey tarmac. For some reason it looks really contrasty in the hair and the face, in the highlights and the skin tones. Like a lot more colour to it than the previous photos. Still the same film roll, so I don't know why that's happened, but Webb looks intimidating. I don't know, like he's about to fight me. Skateboard there just as an accessory because obviously everyone looks cooler when they've got a skateboard in their hand. Here's another attempt at a portrait. I probably should have got closer to him and framed less of the sky above him, and he's out of focus. So I don't think shooting portraits of people is my strength here. This was the final photo of the day, which I really like. And if I was to edit this photo, I probably would lift the shadows so you can see some details in the boats. But I am going to leave it as it is, but I love how the sky is blue, then it goes dark orange, then light blue, then orange and yellow. Sunset looks great, and I think I exposed that pretty perfectly. Cool, that's all the photos on the first roll. I definitely won't show you all 36 on there because this video is going to be way too long. So first shot, day 2, we're in Lincoln, there's Lincoln Cathedral. I just like the light in this photo and the leading road up to the cathedral. I might get that one printed. So this was when we went inside and we were shooting some photos of our friend who's in a band. I pretty much had no idea how these were going to look because lighting inside, especially in gigs with spotlights and smoke and random things, you just, like, I would have been much more comfortable using a digital camera so I could see and adjust what I was shooting. And I quite like this, so this was the first shot I took. It's a shame it's not focused properly. Next photo, cool, really cool. There's a tiny little bit of motion blur, but the glow of the smoke and the yellow light behind him looks so cool. It's a shame that I don't know who this person is. I like it a lot. Pretty much the same type of photo but portrait, less of a glow behind him. I think I moved over a little bit so he was blocking the light. I love in the smoke. And a little bit of motion blur in his hand, but that's okay, I don't mind. Another portrait of the singer, which is out of focus. The drum kit is in focus, but he isn't. So another portrait, which he is in focus, and yeah, I think this is good. Another out of focus one with motion blur. I'm trying to think what I did wrong shooting this photo. I think the shutter speed's too low, and I didn't take my time focusing it enough. Oh wow, this is dreadful. This is awful. He's so, yeah, let's just move on. And they're both out of focus. Oh wow, even worse. But at the same time, he's so out of focus and the motion blur kind of looks quite cool. I think I quite like it. But it's like not intentional, so I can't take credit for the fact that it looks good. Alright, this is cool. I love the pink light coming from the left hand side and the green light coming from behind him. He's in focus as well. I like how he's framed. No motion blur. At least we've got a couple good photos from the gig. I like this one. Again, the focus is just shit. Why am I so bad? Main lesson from looking at these photos I've just taken are that the first few photos outside of the portraits on the beach, when I thought they were overexposed, they weren't, they looked alright. So maybe the film roll can handle overexposing it more than I think. And then the opposite, shooting inside, I just need to remember to not have the shutter so low because they're just blurry. And I'll probably turn this into some sort of little series where hopefully I get better as a film photographer. If you've watched this far, then I'm grateful for you sticking around. I've been talking a lot, so if you want to see some of my stuff, then follow me on Instagram. You don't have to, but I'd appreciate it if you did. Hit that like button, subscribe, I'll see you next time.